Hello, and welcome to another video. Today I wanted to try out playing some games of Standard on Arena with you. I'll show you around the deck that I'm playing right now, and then we can jump into some games. So I'll go ahead and pull up Arena here, and we can get started. What I've got here is a green-red Goblins list that I've been experimenting with a little bit. Once Ether Drift came out and it started looking like there was a potentially viable Goblins deck in Standard, I was immediately interested in trying it out, so this is what I'm working with for now. I'm still in the fairly early stages of learning this deck, but I do have some observations and takeaways from the few games that I've played so far. One is that this deck isn't very good, but I am really enjoying playing with it nonetheless. For now, I've just been doing best of one as I learn how to play the main deck, so it is possible that the sideboarded games could perform a bit better, and I'm not saying that this deck can't win. It certainly can once it starts to pop off, but it does struggle quite a bit against some of the really strong decks right now, like Esper Pixie and Domain Overlords especially. This deck really needs to be able to go wide. All of these goblins work together to form a team that is greater than the sum of its parts. So things like temporary lockdown and creatures with high toughness and lifelink are a huge problem. I think the matchup against the Gruul Mice deck is a little bit better, but can still be a struggle if they get an explosive start. If they are able to get in a couple monstrous rages, then it becomes really difficult for this deck to be able to recover from that. So I won't make any claims that this deck performs particularly well, but like I said, I'm still having a lot of fun with it, and I'd love to take it for a spin with you. But first, let me quickly show you what I've got here before playing some games. Burnout Bastronaut can start our engines on turn 1, and is otherwise a 1/1 menace that can get +1/+0 for 2 mana, and has double strike at max speed. Fanatical Firebrand is a 1/1 haste that we can tap and sack to deal 1 damage to any target. Grace Wrench Goblin is a 1 mana 2/1 with exhaust for 3 that lets us rummage and puts a +1/+1 counter on itself. Torch the Tower is our only burn spell in here right now. Draconautics Engineer is a 2 mana 2/2 with 2 exhaust abilities. For 1 mana we give haste to other creatures and it puts a +1/+1 counter on itself. And for 4 mana we create a 4/4 dragon. Rundfelt Horde Master is our Goblin Lord, and can effectively draw extra cards if a goblin dies. Seer Slicer Goblin creates a goblin token at end of turn if we attacked. And Agatha's Soul Cauldron lets us exile cards from any graveyard. It puts a +1/+1 counter on one of our creatures, and then creatures we control with +1/+1 counters on them have all activated abilities of cards exiled with this. So this is a really exciting card. Ideally, we could exile things like our Draconautics Engineer or Krenko so that our entire team inherits their abilities. But this can also be useful for getting things out of our opponent's graveyard as well, so that's really nice. Howl Squad Heavy gives other goblins haste and creates a goblin token at the beginning of our combat, which has to attack. And then at max speed, we can tap this to add red mana for each goblin we control. Afterburner Expert has a 4-mana exhaust ability that puts 2+1/+1 counters on itself. And whenever we activate an exhaust ability, this will return itself from the graveyard to the battlefield. And then the card that I am most excited about is Krenko Mob Boss. He is a 3/3 that taps to create goblin tokens equal to the number of goblins we control. So this can easily get out of hand and overwhelm the board if he isn't dealt with very quickly. And finally our lands. We've got Mountains, Copperline Gorge, Carplusen Forest, Thornspire Verge, and Amonkhet Raceway, which will start our engines and then tap to give a creature haste at max speed. So yeah, that is the deck. Let's go play a few games. Alright, we've got 2 colorless lands in our opening hand, which I really don't love, but the rest of our hand looks very good. I'm going to start out with the Grease Wrench here and hold up the Firebrand for now. Not the land we wanted, but we can still play the Seer Slicer this turn. Get our Goblin token. I'm still feeling okay about this despite having pretty bad mana. Gastel Thrill Seeker. Okay. Nice. So if we exhaust this, we could trade with that. I'd like to be able to get the Howl Squad Heavy out there though. And if we play it pre-combat, the token will have to attack, but will replace itself at the end of turn. So maybe I'll hold off on exhaust and see if we can build up the board a bit more. Okay. Don't really need to draw any more land. I think we can just exhaust now and see if we can draw something. Okay, not bad. Let's try sending in the Grease Wrench and see if they will trade. Oh no, do they have something? Is it a cut down? Okay. I suppose we can just send out the firebrand now. Ooh, for fortune. That's tough. So they'll get max speed this turn if they attack. Okay. So we could play both of these out this turn. Let's do that after combat. Pass turn. Oh, what is this? Okay, so they can get something from us. We still can't really attack profitably despite having so many creatures. I mean, we could be aggressive about it, but I'm really trying to be careful here. We'll just send these in, but we can create a dragon before our next turn and be able to attack with that. I'll get rid of that as well. Hopefully. Okay. They got a Bastronaut and a Seer Slicer Goblin. Not too awful. Another Thrill Seeker. Seems like they might be contemplating attacking. Okay. Let's get the dragon now. Oh, nice. We can use that. I don't think there's any reason to keep this in hand. and will attack. Play this and pass. Another Sear Slicer, Howl Squad, and Grease Wrench. Oh yikes. An Alesha. I do want to block this, and it's a little concerning how many tokens they'll be creating. I want to try and keep as many of my own tokens as possible in case we draw a Krenko, so I think we can trade this one off. We can't really do much here except give things haste, which they already have, and just exhaust the Afterburner Expert at some point. I'll just keep sending the dragon and the 2 tokens. And pass. Ooh, a Hazoret. Okay. So that will be able to attack. Alesha's unblockable. This hired claw is making me nervous. Guess I'll put 3 tokens in front of it in case they pump it. Yep. Exhaust this guy. Okay. Alright, we need to be able to deal 8 damage this turn. Oh wow. Okay, that'll be enough. And it's got haste thanks to Howl Squad. Love it. We will get our 2 tokens, activate Krenko, unless they have something, I don't think there's any way for them to survive this. Good game. Alright, we got there. And you can see just how little standard I play on here. We're just hanging out at the bottom of the ladder today. On to our second game. This seems like a reasonable hand. We will start with the grease wrench again. A haywire mite. Interesting. Not a huge threat, but we can just deal with it now and attack in. A bushwhack. Okay. We'll get Howl Squad out there. Nissa is interesting. I remember this used to be a deck, but haven't seen it in quite a while. Probably just get our Draconautics Engineer out, and we can make a dragon next turn. Awaken the Woods for X equals 3. Oh no, the dryads are all forests. Okay, that'll be really big. Let's get a counter on this. So, will it be better to create a dragon or to cast 2 creatures? I think I'll pass and just keep our lands up for the dragon. Oh, a Nissa Ascended Animist. Okay. Oh, it's got 7 loyalty on it right now. Yeah, well, there's no recovering from this. Nice. Let's jump into the next one. This opening hand is not great. We don't really have a turn 1 play, but this deck is so light on removal I don't really want to throw away these torches. Let's just see what happens, I guess. Okay, they're on a Gruul aggro deck. Maybe this will work out then. Killing this puts our own creature at risk, which is annoying. So let's take this. I want to torch the mouse, but I also want to develop our board. Yikes, okay, this is kind of scary. I really hope they don't have monstrous rage. Okay. I want to be really careful here not to take too much more damage. But let's swing in. And torch the mouse while they're tapped out. Okay. I really want to torch this mouse, but I'm so nervous that they have a monstrous rage that they can react with. And even if we bargain it, it won't be enough damage because of prowess. And we can't cast both. I can afford to take this damage if they do not have one, though. Ooh, now we torch it. Alright. Sure. Yeah. Let's do one more game and we can call it a day. This hand looks okay. The 2 Horde Masters is really nice, so let's keep. Roll out the Bastronaut. Bummer. We'll get the Grease Wrench out. I really think we can actually try and erase them here. Manifold Mouse is a problem though. I think we just have to take this. Paw Patch Recruit is tricky as well. Our creatures are larger though, so that's good. I think the way to win this is to try and pressure them into going onto the defensive. I need to get them to block with their most important creatures before they can pump up the Ember Heart and give it double strike. I could just destroy the Paw Patch with the Firebrand, but it'd be better if I can just get them to block with it. Okay, they're just gonna take it. Well, even if I have to jump block, I think I'm okay here. Okay. I mean, I have so many creatures, I don't really think they can attack. Cool. So, there we have it. Thank you so much for joining me today for some games of Standard. We didn't get to see the Soul Cauldron in action, unfortunately, but we did get a win with a Krenko, so I am pleased with that. Though, like I mentioned earlier, we're kind of just hanging around at the bottom of the ladder, and I wouldn't say these games were at all representative of the Standard meta. I mean, we did play some Gruul Mice a couple times, but no Esper Pixie or Domain, so I wouldn't really expect us to do as well as we did if we had encountered those decks today. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. And if you're playing Standard, I would love to know which deck you're on. Are you experimenting with anything right now like me? Let's hear it. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, I would absolutely love it if you would give it a thumbs up. And please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll be back with new Magic the Gathering ASMR videos every Monday and Friday. Your support truly means the world to me, and I hope you have a wonderful day.